Hey there YouTube, this is a video I'm making for a request from some viewers. Wanted to see the horn mount system setup I have for the WOLO the Chief horn on my '07 Silverado. I'm using a VIAIR 2007. It's called an air source kit. Has a 200 psi pump attached to a 2-gallon tank. Comes with all the fittings, fixtures, wiring. Had to fab up my own metal mounts. And there's your exhaust exit port for your tank. Just bought a piece of 300 psi air hose from local farm store. And if I can get around here, attached it to a air compressor regulator. Again, this is something that I bought at just a local farm store. It's rated at 200 psi, although with the regulator I don't crank it up over maybe 100-120 using air tools with it. Got an air check on the end to attach 50-foot section of 3/8" hose. And the little tube you see here is refrigerator ice maker tubing. And I've run this up to at least 100 psi with no blows or leaks. And it runs back under the hood where I've got the WOLO mounted. Now I had to buy the solenoid separately from the company, and I don't understand why, if they're selling these horns, why they should just sell it in the kit with it, but whatever, got to make money somehow. The horn itself comes pretty much everything you need. That little piece of coiled hose that you saw a minute ago comes with it. Basically the way it's set up is, there's the horn itself, there's the back of the horn, there's the hose going into the front of it. On the bottom mounting plate you can actually just take a piece of 1.5" angle iron, and the holes on the 1.5" angle iron, pretty much like you see on a stop sign, whatever, street signs, fit just right in the mounting base. Then I just took the solenoid and attached it, which I don't know if I can get in there to where you can see it or not. I just attached it to the firewall with just a couple of bolts, you know, nothing fancy. Just punched a couple holes in the firewall with some self-tapping screws and put them in there. And then that's to mount the horn, and then to mount the solenoid, it's going to be kind of hard to get in here to see this, I think. You can kind of see where the bolts are in the back of that just mount right up in there. I would definitely follow the instructions on how to mount the solenoid for the electronics part. It says to put the switch on the ground side, not the positive side, which most people, I think, put it on the positive side and leave the ground hooked up. I don't know why they recommend you do that, but I did it and it seems to work just fine. I don't know what would happen if you do otherwise. But again, you know, just punched a couple holes in the firewall and just used a couple self-tapping screws, mounted it all up. And then I've got just another piece of the refrigerator hose, the ice tube maker hose, about 1 foot long. Just comes out of the solenoid, goes right into the back of the horn. And let me tell you, mounting this horn in there was pretty interesting, because as you can see, it's tucked up in there pretty good. I mean, there's the alternator and the motor, and you can see that, if I can get a better angle on this, you can see there's the firewall. Towards the left side of the screen is towards the radiator. I mean, this thing's a good 28 inches long, so it took a little bit to squeeze it and kind of shoehorn it in under the hood. Just mounted it right up the front there, right underneath the radiator hose. And you can see right here is my fan shroud for my radiator fan. It goes right through that, and from the other videos you can tell it's pretty loud. It does pretty good at 60 psi. I don't want to try anything higher than that, just because you can wear out the diaphragms in these if you use it too high of pressures for too much. I mean, I know, well, actually looking at this right here, This actually looks like the way it's mounted, it's touching. There's easily 2 inches of play between that wire harness and where the horn's actually at. It's not actually touching. It does seem to be kind of close to the motor, but again, this is the only place I could find under the hood to put it without actually mounting it on the roof or on the hood or something silly like that. So, well, there it is. Like I said, I did this video because I had a couple of requests from people because they wanted to see what it was that it actually looked like and how I had it all mounted up. And again, this is just steel angle iron here. Just ran everything right out of the factory fuse box. It's got some terminal posts in it. Just run it all right out of the factory fuse box. Got a little extra space here on these Silverados to tuck the electrical, tuck the air and everything else. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this was informative to those that asked. If you got any more questions, just hit me up on YouTube.